Let's see if we can add a little Facebook to see if they're interested in seeing us today. Ooh, Sinead in the background getting us ready for a little music. She's ready to give it another try, folks. Nothing compares.
Nothing compares to you. Amazing song.
Where's the line?
Amazing song.
Ross, Matt, Noonish. Ready to say hi? You ready to say hi, Ross? Right
Yep.
now, look at this. They got a big line. It just says, "Where's the line? Where's the beef? Where's the beef?" I say.
Where's the beef?
Oh, wait a minute. There we are. Good morning, everybody. How are you today? It is a new year and a new day. Today marks the passing of David Bowie 6 years ago, in addition to other fun things.
And Bob Saget like 2 days ago.
Bob Saget 2 days ago, Betty White,
Jesus,
Sidney Poitier.
man.
I can't lose any more icons this week.
They're laying it on thick. The universe is trying to tell us something. I think. I don't know what it is, but I don't want to jinx it, you know?
You ever watch Men in Black?
Yes, of course.
I'm just saying this. If Rodman goes next, I know the aliens are leaving the planet.
If Rodman goes in... Dennis Rodman?
Well, yeah, obvious. I mean, we all... Okay. Good chance Betty White was an alien.
I'm hearing you out.
She'd lived a long time. She was amazing. She was better than most humans, which suggests to me that maybe she wasn't on the... Have you seen you guys lately? But, so Betty White leaves. Sidney Poitier leaves, like the tops.
Right.
The cat won't leave and just keeps meowing.
Right.
So, like, Michael Jackson left early.
Yeah.
But remember in Men in Black, like, they were all aliens. They were all people visiting the planet.
Wait a second. Yeah.
And so the most obvious alien to leave.
Okay. I got you. I understand now. Okay. I didn't know where you were going with that, and I was like, what? I need to hear this out.
So if Dennis Rodman, Keanu Reeves, or Nick Cage...
They were all aliens in Men in Black?
Okay, wait a minute. There's pictures of Keanu Reeves and Nick Cage from the Civil War. You've seen these pictures. I mean, where they're just like...
I think if it's Keanu, we're going down a dark path. I mean, we're already kind of down a dark path, but like, come on. He's such a cool person, man.
Well, right, but
he's such a cool person.
If we wake up tomorrow and all the dolphins are gone, and there's a note that just says, "So long, thanks for all the fish," I'm telling you, we're in trouble.
From who?
From the dolphins.
From the dolphin? Oh, the dolphins.
If the dolphins all leave, and they leave a note that says, "So long, thanks for all the fish."
What are they going to leave Earth? Are they aliens too? This is your conspiracy theory?
You can see dolphins are obviously smarter than we are. They spend the majority of their time playing. They have a good time. Okay, rape the occasional seal. I'm not saying they're all good.
Right.
But they're obviously here on vacation. How much work have you seen them do? I'm just saying.
What kind of work do animals do is the question, I think.
Okay, dolphins who are obviously, I mean, we look at them, they're obviously smarter than us.
Right.
I mean, they come and save us when we're being stupid.
Okay.
Okay, then we maybe save them from nets and beaches occasionally.
Right, we do that.
But the point is...
Okay.
The reason there's no dolphin cities is because they don't live here, they just vacation here.
Or it's because they live in water. I think that has to do with it.
I've seen Waterworld.
The Waterworld.
All we had was water, and we still built cities.
You think that they could have made Atlantis?
No, I don't think they would. Why would they? They're here on vacation, just like God was when he knocked up what's her name.
Oh my God. God vacationed down to Earth, and that's why Jesus was born. Yep.
Well, when you're on vacation, you know what your wife know don't hurt you. You know,
God has a
what
wife.
stays in Jerusalem stays in Jerusalem. What happens in Jerusalem stays in Jerusalem. The Vegas of the Middle East.
That's hilarious. That's funny.
I don't think any of that stuff, folks. Much.
It's okay. You can. This is a safe space.
This is a safe space.
You can theorize as much as you want.
See, folks, that's our goal here. We're creating a safe space. I'm Matt. This is Ross. This is Where's the Line.
Right.
Where's it going to go? a variety of different places depending on how we feel on any given day. And
Realistically.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And where we think the lines are, right? Isn't that kind of what we're doing?
Pretty much.
That we don't talk about. There's a lot of stuff that nobody talks about.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I've noticed you're black. This is whiteface. I'm black too.
Oh my God.
So some of what we're looking at is the fact that we obviously come from diverse backgrounds.
Right.
That one of the things we bring to the table is the fact that you are how old?
18.
And as previously mentioned, you are correct, black?
C.
C?
Yes.
Now you're really going to confuse them. Oh, Dominican.
Dominican.
Your family's originally from?
Guyana.
Guyana.
Yes.
Guyana.
1/4. My granddad's from Guyana.
And that's northern South America, just above Brazil.
I believe it's
above
next. I believe it's next to Venezuela.
It's like kind of between the two.
I think
isn't
it's next to Suriname and either Venezuela or Colombia. I don't remember which one of those is.
They do chalk a bunch of smaller countries in up there. I always think I think of that
it's like,
corner.
because there's Brazil taking up everything, and then there's a bunch of small countries up there,
right
at the top, kind of.
Silly Portuguese keeping their shit together.
That's funny.
This is an interesting fact.
Well, to be fair. Anyways, most of Brazil is unusable because it's jungle, but they stick to the coast.
Here's the problem. No, that's not what's going on in Brazil. I'm gonna pass on a little information that actually came out in the last week about Brazil.
Okay.
So the portion of the rainforest that is being decimated the fastest, they've decided to stop keeping track of how fast it's being cut down and turned into farmland.
Oh, really?
But the biggest problem isn't that, hey, Brazil not usable. It's, hey, Brazil very usable if you cut down the trees.
I see.
The rest of us need the trees of because we're busy smoking our cars out. And so one of the biggest problems with that whole area, Bolsonaro and all of his outlook on COVID aside, is that there's sort of a competing, I want to survive, I could have a farm. But to do that, I have to cut down the rainforest.
Right.
There are indigenous people still that live in the rainforest. Some of them we've tried to keep low contact with even. Obviously, this changes more and more the more we encroach. So Brazil, save the rainforest, folks. You know, just if nothing else, because I'd like to take a trip down the Amazon one time. Just I want to see it so bad.
I want to see it. I just don't want to
You don't want to get out in it.
Yeah. I want to take a river cruise or something.
So if you go down to Guyana,
not a cruise, but I don't know how they do it. A tour or something.
They do riverboat.
Yeah, riverboat type thing. Yeah.
I don't.
Definitely.
I think there gets a point where it's not like cruise ship.
There's shit that they haven't discovered yet.
No,
there's stuff that they haven't discovered, and I don't
think above ground we know most of it.
I would rather not get bitten by something I've never seen in my life before, like never even seen, no one's ever heard of it. I don't want to have that happen to me. I'm good.
What if it gives you some Andrew Garfield size powers and stuff?
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun,
that would be interesting, but I think I'm good.
You're good with it?
Yeah, I'm good without
to take the risk.
Yeah, I'm not really willing to take the risk.
All I can think of is that really, really bad insurance ad that's out, Colonel. You know the one I mean, right?
No,
the one where he's sure he's good. The it's awful. We hate it, and he's gonna get spider powers, and he gets bit by the spider, and then
I know what you're talking.
They come back, and his eyes
his eyes swollen. they're wheeling him out. They're wheeling him out on
a gurney.
Yeah, on a gurney. Yeah, definitely.
So, but you've never been to Guyana.
No.
Not Ghana, Guyana.
Yes.
This will get confusing.
This will get
New
more
show
and more
coming
confusing.
soon.
Yes.
Ghana, Guyana, Guyana.
Yes.
I'm from Guyana. So you've never been to Guyana?
Nope. I've only heard stories.
Where have you? So we're in Columbus, Ohio. For those of you who don't know, Guyana, Ohio, to be more specific. Shoot. If you can figure out what the B in 586B stands for you, I will send you an emoji. I know. Ooh, big prizes. Prizes.
I'm trying to think myself because I don't even know.
Sneaky.
Have no clue.
Well, one of these days, if you ever figure it out, you can burst it out. You can be like, I know what the B stands for.
Right.
The B stands for.
Right.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
I was gonna sing a song, but I don't remember a song that has "Nobody Knows" in it.
There's got to be a song out there with nobody knows.
There's some song. Yeah. Sometimes I get songs in my head randomly, like, and I don't know if they're real or not. Like, I don't know if someone's created them,
your songs
and I've heard them somewhere, or like if I just randomly came up with that idea. You know?
I get that. So those of you who don't know, Ross is a musician. Got a few really nice songs out currently. We've got Smile, we've got Loveless. Yes. So really nice freestyle out, Love Yourself. A few things here and there. Look for TikTok. Look for anywhere you can type in Ross Jordan or RJ or Studio 586B.
If you look up RJ the Kid on almost everything, except for Spotify for the time being, you'll come up with my page. My page is usually, my artist name is RJ. But RJ the Kid was what I went by for a lot of things.
When you were a kid?
You can't, no.
Well, you went by RJ the Kid back when you were a kid.
Well, the thing is, you can't actually just say RJ because I'm not big yet. So when you say that...
RJ the Man now.
RJ the Man.
You could be RJ the Man Kid.
I don't think I have the height requirements to claim that title yet.
Damn. He said, I've decided I can see the number of forces in front of me with loaded weapons. I'm just going to turn this here blunderbuss on myself and take this damage quickly.
Oh, my God. If you've never seen Looper.
Ross is very, very tall in his own mind. We'll never stand up. See, we're almost the same height. Actually, if Ross was over here, he'd be like this on the mic. He'd be like, hey, guys, I can... Not really. So, you've lived in Columbus, obviously.
Yes.
Where else have you lived?
New York.
New York?
Yes.
The Big Apple?
Yes.
Which borough?
Brooklyn. You ever been?
You know what? I've been there working. Lots. Mm-hmm. I've worked in the one financial tower, the one that's right next to... God, when I was there, it was a hole in the ground, actually. But now it's the new World Trade Center.
Yeah.
I've worked in and around the city. I've delivered stuff to stuff in Times Square. Mm-hmm. You know, like on the weekend, been there at 6 o'clock in the morning. I offloaded all of the rigging for the shoot. That was the Titanic show when it was in town. Mm-hmm. It's just the rigging. It's stuff that holds it all up. Nothing of interest. I just had the crap in the back of my truck had to move from Cleveland to New York right now.
Okay.
But I've kind of seen everything east of the Mississippi kind of that way. I haven't been to spend a bunch of time in Florida. But most cities it seems like I've been there at some point or another working, because I spent 15 years driving a truck specifically.
Right, right.
Probably about 7 of that specifically traveling that much.
Okay.
You know, spent a bunch of time down in Georgia, the Carolinas.
What's your favorite memory outside of Ohio?
My favorite memory outside of Ohio? See, that's not fair, because then I'll probably jump to Thailand.
Okay.
I'll probably jump outside the...
So...
Excuse me, I'll probably jump outside the country then.
So...
Favorite country in the United States?
So Thailand...
Or favorite city in the United States?
So Thailand... Okay. Yeah. So Thailand, and then, what, you come back and then do trucking? What is...
Well, okay. So... Graduate St. Charles Preparatory School.
Right.
Got like the official college prep kind of education. Mm-hmm. Had been applying. It takes about a year or two to get all your application stuff done for Rotary Youth Exchange. So I knew that was coming. I planned that between my senior year of high school and in theory college. Mm-hmm. Started my applications for marine biology and stuff, what I planned to do on when I got back. Mm-hmm. And so on July the 5th or 6th, I want to say, I left for Thailand after turning 18 on June 12th and graduating on June 6th. Lost my virginity on June 6th, too. In a van! Down by the river! True story, and that's all you're getting.
I've heard this story before.
But that's all you're getting. But it is true. Every time I hear about a van down by the river, I have trouble not going, in a van!
Down by the river.
Her mom's van. Anyways. So then I leave for Thailand for basically a year, 10 and a half months.
Okay.
Came back. I had finished my applications. I'd been accepted to a 6-year PhD marine biology program where I'd pick up my, what is it? Your bachelor's, your master's, and your PhD in about a 6-year period.
Okay.
And then I blew it off and didn't go.
You were like, nah, son, that's not for me.
There are points where I wish I had.
Okay.
Okay, but the reality is, if anything's taught me anything over time, is that that's kind of wasted effort to go, I wish I'd done this or that, because then you wouldn't be here.
Right.
Even you wouldn't have the question to answer.
Right. My question is, what was your thought at 18 when you thought, I'm not going, I'm not doing it? What drove you? What was the decision-making process in your mind when you thought that?
I was 19 at that point. I honestly felt like what I needed to do was write and paint.
Okay.
I really felt called artistically.
Mm-hmm.
But then what happened is shortly there I met my daughter's mother, and we quickly had a child and a variety of other mishaps.
So life hit you in a very real way.
Yeah. I never wrote. I didn't write, and I didn't paint.
Okay.
It's taken me. So that was 30 years ago. It's taken me 30 years to get back to the point where I'm really, truly creative again.
Jeez.
I mean, there have been things along the way. I mean, I've, built things, and there are a lot of things I do that in my head are creative and artistic.
Right.
But I have trouble accessing sometimes the space in my head because I'm worried about all of my responsibilities, and it feels... It's weird because right now, especially with us trying to do this and everything we're doing, it feels self-centered to not be able to access myself and self-centered to access myself. Like both.
Explain that a little bit better.
Concentrate on me.
Right.
Or concentrate on others.
Right.
I have to find a middle ground where I can do both to be able to even be creative.
To some extent, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. Mm-hmm. And I definitely think that it's very, very hard to find a balance between doing things for others and doing things for yourself. Because if you do too many things for others, you're left depleted and you can't really...
Well, then you can't. Yeah, there's nothing left for you.
Yeah, you can't do anything for yourself. And then if you do everything for yourself, you're not really thinking about how you're interacting with people, and you're hurting people along the way without even giving it a second thought.
Yeah.
Well, not even a second thought, a before thought.
Well, when I think of the idea of, that you have to be compassionate to everybody, I think you have to include yourself. And I think that's,
Right.
Actually, for me, I think that's the hardest part.
Definitely.
That I can see all of this. I can go, oh, this needs that, and that needs this, and this needs that, and that needs, okay, I got that. Mm-hmm. But to then define the moment by my needs feels, if somebody comes to me and needs something, I don't want to go, well, no, but I need this right now.
Right.
Because that doesn't feel... Those of you who haven't met him, come here. Well, come here. Can you hear him?
Yeah.
Can you hear him?
Hope you guys
That
can.
is the one and only producer from California. You may have heard of him. Have you heard of him? Mr. Suge Knight. Did you have anything else you wanted to say? Hey, Suge? You talking? Well, what? Yeah.
What you talking about, bud?
Come here, bud. Oh.
That is the
Suge
cat.
Knight. There you go.
Suge Knight.
Everybody needs a cat.
He's very talkative.
He is. This is my cat.
He's very talkative. He loves to talk.
There you go. Look right into that camera, Suge. There you go. What do you want to say now? There you go. Right here. Come lay down. Is that what was wrong? Just lay down. That is the studio cat.
Yes. So
Every studio should have a cat.
I would say I fluctuate between. Sometimes I can't really think about other people, and sometimes I can't really think about myself. Like I sometimes go back and forth constantly. I think it might have to do with my age, but Like, I definitely go back and forth between, okay, I'm helping everybody, and by the end of the day, I just feel, dang, I can't do anything. Like,
Right.
I'm beat. And then other times, I'm doing everything so good, and, like, I'm doing exactly what I need to be doing, but, like, I'm forgetting stuff. My room's not clean. And,
Right, you stop and you're like, oh crap, but I forgot everything else.
Oh crap, I forgot my responsibilities. You know, like, I fluctuate, definitely.
Well, I think that's the line we're looking for today, folks. That in the end, first episode, where's the line? The line we're trying to find is that line that we walk, that razor's edge that's between our care about everybody we care about and our care about ourselves.
Right.
How that even relates to who we are as people professionally.
Right.
That these are the questions that actually go across every spectrum. It's like, how do I find somewhere where I exist, but I'm also there so other people can exist? Like, I want to be supportive and uplifting because I know sometimes I need people to be supportive and uplifting.
Right.
Right? That I try to... And then the worst part is, though, sometimes you're like, man, I need people to... I so need people.
Right.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put 10 times as much into other people, and it's going to come back.
Right.
And that's not their fault. It's not like you said, hey, by the way.
Recently, I've kind of learned that... So I've been doing a lot of social media research recently.
Right.
And I've realized that the best way to get yourself out there is also very realistic for how to get people to like you to some extent. It's, you have to engage with people. Mm-hmm. And when the algorithm sees, okay, he's engaging with people are engaging back with him, let's push this a little bit more. He's getting people to stay on the app. That's what they're thinking. But in my head, it's also like, this person is giving something to people, so let's give something to him.
Right.
And finding that balance in anything is difficult. But I think in creative endeavors, it's very, very difficult. Like,
God, yeah, because you got to keep your voice. It's even more... Okay, so in this moment of creativity, not only is it important, it defines you.
Right.
If you don't keep your voice, if you become just another voice, you disappear into a sea of voices.
Yes.
But if you don't care about the other voice, it's a razor's edge. Right. It's consistently okay, so how do I keep from falling too far one way or another?
Right.
Using this source over here that's other people's thoughts to help me recreate who I am, but not let them make me who I am. That we're constantly struggling with.
Yes.
I had a great thought.
What was your thought?
I really don't know, or I would have shared it with you. To be fair,
sometimes that happens.
Well, it's a reality.
Yeah.
It's that
sometimes the thoughts come in so fast that you can't even catch it.
That I think I am consistently looking for ways. I want to hear other people's thoughts. I want to hear what other people are thinking. I want to bring people in here to kind of... So, for this show, for the open mic show, for all of those things, we were talking about what things were my favorite this or favorite that. The hardest part, I've come to a conclusion as I've turned 50, that I don't know how much I believe in my perspective. Some of those pieces looking back were painful for me, but they're not anymore. So I have to question which ones are which. That the reality is, no two people see things exactly the same. So what makes me think the way I think is better than the rest of living things on this planet. And so I'm interested anymore in seeing how people see things. That's why I love being with artists. That artists kind of give me that entry into, ooh, what are you thinking? They've already put something out to help.
To some extent, when I put a little bit more thought into it, I feel like I err a little bit more on the selfish side when it comes to thinking about people and things like that. Just because of the fact that as I was a kid, like, all I could think of was my perspective.
Okay, well,
but
that's reality,
I've always been I read a lot of books, and I paid attention in class, like in between talking and stuff like that. I talked a lot. But basically, like, I have always been able to keep my perspective in my mind. And sometimes I'm able to pull in other people's perspective.
Right.
So when I don't have other people's perspective, I kind of just only have mine. So I kind of err on the selfish side, I feel.
I think the fact that you're aware suggests that's probably not true. I'm not saying other people may not think that
I probably
sometimes.
do a better job than most people.
I know a lot of people that don't think about it.
But I also know that sometimes I get caught up in it. I can't really, I don't know. I can't really think about anything but myself sometimes. What's the comment say?
Okay, my entire family is on the comments talking about babies and other things. I'm just saying. It is so good to see my family. They support me endlessly, no matter how crazy I am.
My family supports me more than I thought they would.
Isn't that weird?
Yes. Yes. Definitely. Definitely.
Mom, wife, daughter, all of you, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And I'll be honest, I am thankful that I was able to feel like I knew you guys would be there on many levels.
Cousin, mom, grandpa, friends, all of you guys. I love you guys. You guys are so awesome. You guys are awesome. A1 family. Awesome.
A1 family.
Yes. Top of their class.
So, what'd you find different in New York than in Columbus?
So, I feel like I'm more aware of my surroundings, but at the same time, I'm also more able to mind my own business.
In New York?
Yes. So for some reason, like, when I got to New York, I quickly realized, like, New Yorkers always know what's going on around them, but at the same time, they're able to mind their own business and just stick to what they're doing. Like I could have a good conversation with somebody, but also I could just sit the entire day and not talk to anyone. Like, and just go about my exactly. Like I could randomly talk to a stranger and have a really good conversation.
Right.
Or I could just chill by myself. Like,
is it that you became more aware that you could do that there, or do you feel like in Columbus you didn't have, like, people just come up and talk to you in Columbus?
Yeah, to some extent. In Columbus, no. I'll tell you one thing that Midwest people do that New Yorkers do not do.
And then they put ranch on it.
Okay, look. So, you know, in the Midwest, people smile and they wave. People do not do that in New York. I cannot tell you how many times I've smiled and waved at somebody and they just did not smile or wave back. Like, sometimes they did, but like, it's traditionally, it wasn't something people really did. I think part of it is you come across so many people that it doesn't make sense to stop and say hi to everybody. It really doesn't.
It's just a number of people.
Exactly. Okay. Like, you see people every day. I went to a school that had 5,000 kids.
Okay, that's a lot of kids.
There was almost 1,000 kids in my graduating class, I believe.
That's crazy. Okay, so...
Which, by the way, made graduation, like, so weird, but...
My graduating class in 1989.
Okay.
Okay, my freshman year, we started with 138 students. Mm-hmm. We lost and got some, so some transferred in and out.
Right.
69 in my graduating class. Yeah, jeez. I know. Trust me, it was an all-boys school. Everybody pointed out that we lost 69 students, gained 69 students, and then they said 69 over and over again. It's an all-boys school.
Right. They're going to talk about it. It's definitely something to talk about when you're a teenager. When you're a teenage boy, specifically.
So, we were talking about how... In Ohio, everybody says hello, and I was talking to some people in the chat about the fact that in the Midwest, it's hello with a side of ranch. They're like, and some ranch. And then she's going, yeah, no, if anybody walks into her restaurant in Florida, if they ask for ranch, she knows they're from the Midwest. And they're like, oh,
okay.
I know where you're from.
Actually, that's a good point. Because I always eat pizza with ranch.
Pizza with ranch is definitely
pizza
Columbus.
with ranch. Like,
little ranch cut through the pizza
definitely.
sauce.
I'm weird with pizza though. I like to take off the toppings and eat them, and then I eat like just the bread and the sauce. And yeah, I'm a bit weird, but
no. Where is the line? Is Ross weird? So one of the things we struggle with constantly is, it's not even work play. It's not even others versus self and responsibility. It's, as an artist, you're also kind of trying to access these feelings, but also trying to not let them overwhelm you.
To some extent, yeah.
Hey, let me talk about this stuff from inside of me. Oh, wait a minute, I worked up all this stuff inside of me. I'm not sure I want to talk anymore.
Right. No. Because sometimes, I swear, I'll be writing a song and like literally I'll be doing something else. And then I'll catch a vibe. I'll catch a feeling. And I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing now. All right. This is what we're doing. We're writing this feeling down. Yep, exactly. We're writing this feeling down, and I can't really get out of it. Like sometimes I almost feel like I'm stuck in a, like, my emotions control me a lot.
Oh, I get that.
Like, and I kind of just have to make decisions around my emotions as opposed to making logical decisions. And I think I feel like as an artist, that's definitely like more of a thought than anything else. Logical decisions and being an artist does not always go hand in hand.
My daughter says she no longer eats ranch dressing now that she's in Florida. Okay. And I said that was totally reasonable because it's not live caught like it is in the Midwest.
Well, I wonder...
Well, you don't want ranch that's been shipped that far, man. That's not fresh.
Well, I wonder what the dressing of choice is in Florida.
Yeah, what's the dressing of choice in Florida?
That's a good question. Well, it's gonna take a second for them to see.
Anyways,
so yeah, it's fine.
That
talk about it if it comes up.
as we deal with this push and pull of wanting to be in the world and not feeling comfortable in the world, finding where that line is of between responsibility and creativity. You know, trying to define ourselves.
Right.
You know, without over-defining our audience.
Suge.
You know, that what in this... So...
He's tearing up the carpet, by the way.
We've been working here for about 6 months in this basement.
Yes.
It was a hint. And...
Cooking up in the lab.
Right? I don't have that hat. I need...
You know what we should do?
I need a Breaking Bad hat.
I was gonna say we should get masks, and I'll be Jesse Pinkman. You'll be Bryan Cranston.
There we go.
Yeah.
Love Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
I keep struggling with the where you're defining yourself or where you're trying to be what other people want.
Okay.
Like, and I know you struggle with that. Because I see, like, there are pieces of music that you're not as comfortable with because they don't feel as yours, even though they came totally out of you.
I definitely know the song you're talking about.
Okay. Right?
And I think I've come to terms with the idea that there are going to be songs that I'm not exactly going to like.
Right.
But someone's going to like it. Or someone's going to find... I kind of separate... Okay, I in my head, I separate whether or not a song is good and whether or not I like it. So I'll put a song out if it's good.
Right.
Whether or not I like it, kind of irrelevant, because I still made it. It's still my thing. But, like, to some extent, like, I get that I run the risk of having people like me for something that I don't like about myself or something that I don't exactly think of as my best song.
Right.
But I'm okay with that. I'm kind of okay with that. Even a life where you're running around the country playing songs you hate is still pretty cool. I think so.
So here's this thought that came to me as you were. So maybe you have to put out your message even on the days it doesn't feel 100% yours, because maybe what you're doing is putting it out because somebody else needs to hear it.
Right.
That's powerful. I mean, when you think about it, that's really powerful.
Definitely.
I mean, across the board, the idea of sometimes, which relates to where sometimes the reason I'm at where I'm at, and I think I'm on this side of the line, is I'm on this side of the line for somebody on the other side of the line I'm not even aware of.
Right.
That putting out a message, putting out a thought, will grow organically once it leaves you, whether it be music, whether it be a book, artistically. That I think when artists try and hold on to something as theirs to the point of going, oh, you can't change that way, that's not meaningful.
Right.
I think I have to for me at least, I have to create and go, okay, now I want it to change out there.
Right. I think to some extent it's totally up to the artist, which is if an artist makes a song, turns out to hate it, and never wants to play it again, that's their decision. To some extent, I respect that. Like, I respect that opinion. I just have a different one.
Right. Well, one of the things we've talked about is bringing more kind of live in the studio kind of things, where we're watching you go through some of the process, or other artists. You're going to be hosting live at 586B, or 586B Live, or whatever route I put that in whatever order.
It'll be branded somehow.
Yes, it'll be branded somehow.
586B will be in the title.
Did you hear that? Title. Branded.
See what I did there? 586B will be in the title.
That, because I think that's one of the most interesting parts. I think often, especially with big name artists, they kind of want to go, oh, look. And like it magically happens somehow. But for instance, if you haven't watched The Beatles, Let It Be background, I believe it's Netflix. Isn't it Netflix that has that?
Disney Plus.
Disney. Oh, I apologize. Yeah, Disney Plus. Disney Plus. It is. You're literally watching the Beatles break up,
right?
Which makes it like viscerally hard for those of us who love the Beatles, because you can. Man, there's some stuff going on in that room. But the creative process anywhere along the way, I've always enjoyed watching, because. Okay, I'm going to give my favorite example. Some people are going to go, well, oh, that's not I think he's one of the most amazing artists around. Bob Ross. Once around. He's no longer with us. But the belief that part of the process, as much as he has a plan going forward on the painting, is that there are going to be happy little mistakes that appear.
Right, and you got to roll with it.
And that's the universe contributing to what you're creating.
Right.
You know, that you didn't plan those happy little trees, but that paint, trees go there.
To some extent, I feel like art, and I'm speaking specifically about like drawing and painting, I think it's definitely a medium where you kind of have to like roll with it a little bit. Like, if you make a mistake, you don't really just start over. Like, you can with drawing things you can redo. Like, you can definitely like redo a drawing you did 10 years ago.
Not really. I don't think you can.
Well, no. I'm saying
you could copy it maybe,
you could
You'd bring a new perspective.
Yes. It's a different thing.
Okay.
But maybe it's the same idea that you were going for before. But like, I guess with writing songs, I find that a lot of times I have the ability to go back and constantly look at it and be like, I don't like that line. I'm gonna take that out, replace it. Like, to some extent, it's easier to get stuck in my head, you know, where like I can get to a place where I'm like, this isn't good enough.
I almost have to push it out, or I'll keep messing with it. Exactly. That no one will ever see it done because
it'll never be done if I keep messing with it.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Yes. Absolutely.
And also one lesson I learned I did a painting class, just random.
Right.
But basically, like, I did this painting. It was a landscape. It was a sunset. It was really beautiful. I love this painting. And then I kept touching it. And what happened was I ruined it. Because of the fact that I kept touching it. I ruined like the way that the colors look. I can still see in my head how it looked originally. But now when I look at it, like when I would look at that painting, I would sit there and think like, you can't keep messing with it. You gotta let it go. You gotta know when to be like, all right, it's done.
Know when to hold 'em. Know when to fold 'em.
That's funny.
Know when to walk away. And
who's that?
know when to run.
Who's that?
You never count your money while you're sitting at the table.
I was gonna guess Elvis, but that doesn't sound like an Elvis song.
Plenty time for counting when the game is through. I can't sing this song very well, that's maybe.
Okay, so stop. Anyways. no, but who's that though?
I am so awful, and it's Kenny Rogers.
Okay.
Kenny Rogers. There
okay.
Famous for chicken.
I've heard that name,
things.
but I don't think I've. Okay. I don't think I'm familiar.
It's
with
okay. You know what? You're 18.
I know that song though. I definitely
Gambler.
know that song.
That's The Gambler.
Okay.
But to some extent, I think you have to be open to the idea of the happy little trees too. So one of my main thoughts on how do you produce a radio show or whatever you want to call this was learned from, as mentioned, driving a lot. And I listen to Howard Stern a lot, and I listen to a lot of talk radio.
Right.
The thing that was the most interesting was what's going to happen next.
To some extent.
That real life doesn't feel scripted. And it's finding that line between scripted and real. So going in with an idea, whether it be because of something that was important to you to express to the world or something that was important to you specifically to express artistically, that what happens is organic after that. Not only here between you and I, but it turns into a whole discussion about ranch.
To some extent, the reason why. So, like he said, we've been working for about 6 months.
People are making fun of you for not knowing who Kenny Rogers is. Go ahead. We've been working for about 6 months.
Dang, man. Dang. Showing my age.
Right?
Has a very different context when you're young saying that. But anyways.
Yeah, really. Trust me. I got more aches and pains, and he's just complaining.
we've been working for about 6 months, and we've recorded this show a lot. We've lost some stuff, but one of the things I always liked about doing this show specifically is that I love how we can start off with an idea of what we're going to talk about, or even not even like that at all. We don't even start off with an idea. We just go into it, and what comes out. Well, yeah.
Go ahead.
Sometimes I have an idea. Sometimes we discuss it before. Sometimes we.
That's true. Sometimes we are much more vocal. Go ahead.
Yes, but basically, I've always liked the fact that something so organic can come out of just talking. Like that's what I like about like podcasting and just content and just watching people talk, watching people have conversations.
I think that's our message, though.
Definitely.
I mean, so in addition, I had never really watched much in the way of podcasts prior to 6 months ago.
I have.
Ross has watched a few.
Yeah.
We watched some really bad podcasts along the way.
Yep.
You know, stuff that Ross
We've
was a
made
fan
fun
of.
of some things. We've made fun of some things.
That I will say this, we should have kept watching podcasts because I had a lot more confidence when we were watching that stuff because I realized how low the bar was. I was like, oh, damn, I can get over that bar. And then I got back in my head. But what I wanted to bring that was different, what we wanted to bring was this. This is not fake, we're watching a video of somebody else's life falling apart.
Right.
This is our life falling apart. No, I jest. I think perhaps I jest too much. But anyways.
Amen.
But I think this is our message for humanity. Whatever. I mean, to be fair. To be fair.
Shout
to
out
be
to
fair.
Leonard Kenny. You guys gotta watch that so you get that reference. Please. Watch it. It's awesome.
It is in communication that we realize we're similar. It's when we discuss these lines, we all of a sudden all go, oh, I thought we didn't agree on the lines. And really I have found over and over again that everybody's like, oh, you know what? The problem is we're pushing back and forth on these things and blah, blah, blah. And then no matter where I went in the country, in the world, everybody was doing the same thing. They were just trying to take care of their family. And there were these crazy people up top doing stupid stuff.
The one thing I loved about New York, I met basically a new person every day. Like, at school. Easy. Like, because there's 5,000 kids. You're 5 floors. There's daggone near a block of school. So you're going to meet a new person every day. Basically, I would always have these conversations with these random people that I just met. And what I always found was, like, I can talk to this person. I can relate to this person. This person's a regular person. This person
It ends
has
up,
their little...
people are people, so why should it be?
Right. This person has their little idiosyncrasies that make them their specific...
Idiosyncrasies.
I did not say the word right because I don't speak English correctly. Jesus.
I love that.
It's my first language, but like...
He's my first language.
He's my
give me
first
a second.
language, but give me a second, though.
Right?
Anyway.
We apologize for if that came across like we were... That was generic learning English as a second language. Yes.
Yeah, nothing meant by that. Anyways, basically, like, I just started to develop the idea that I can go anywhere and talk to anybody and have a pretty good conversation.
Right.
And I definitely think that to some extent, if I didn't go to New York, probably wouldn't have met you. I probably wouldn't have been able to talk to you. I probably wouldn't have been able to talk to anyone.
Redefines time. Yeah.
Right. It just, like, sometimes when I think about that, it makes me, like, glad. And it makes me, like, appreciate the ability to talk to people. Like,
right.
It's such a good... It's such a valuable trait because you can really become a better person because you're gaining the experiences of other people just through conversation.
You know what? I've always
Definitely.
said the lesson you can learn from somebody else as opposed to paying for it yourself is the cheapest lesson you can learn.
Right? Right?
Whew, that was a lot of words.
Right.
But, so I wanted to, one last thing. I've got a quote that's got a great deal of meaning for me this week, so I'm going to, you guys look at Pretty Ross for a minute. I'm going to look over here so I can read this accurately. I've been looking up to Lloyd Dobler a lot lately as I try and figure out this route we're
Might I
on.
ask who that is?
Lloyd Dobler is the main character in a movie called Say Anything.
Okay.
Played by, oh my God, why have I forgotten all of this? John Cusack, Jones' brother. And Ann's brother. Don't forget Ann.
Yes, John Cusack.
That
Shouts out to the Cusacks. Awesome people, seems like.
we're talking about finding the lines that define us.
Right?
Finding the lines between responsibility and personality and who we are versus the needs of others and being accepting of the happy little trees in our life and maybe even the chasms that open in front of us because who knows what they'll open to us.
Right.
But as far as the future, Lloyd Dobler said, I don't want to sell anything, buy anything, or process anything as a career. I don't want to sell anything bought or processed, or buy anything sold or processed, or process anything sold, bought, or processed, or repair anything sold, bought, or processed. When I wrote it in my little book over here somewhere, I wrote, I don't want to buy anything. I don't want to sell anything. I'm tired of buying and selling. All I want to do is give. That all I want to do is make a difference. You know, I told a friend last night that, you know, it was time to change the world, and she reminded me that, oh, no, you can't change the world. All you can change is you. And I agree. People think when I say it's time to change the world, I mean, oh, I'm going to just...
Superman.
It takes each and every one of us. You're right.
Right.
I can't do it alone.
I think to some extent it takes being a good person to make the world better. That's the only way you can make the world better.
I think, what if you stand up
or at least
for it changing?
At the very least, if you're not a good person, try to be a better person.
Oof.
At the very least.
Every day in every way, just try and be the best person you can be when you play.
Right. Right.
That we're always constantly trying to find these lines.
Right.
That's the way that should be.
Right.
The day you quit looking for those lines are the days it stumbles.
Definitely.
Though some days you stumble because you're looking for those lines.
Right.
We're all trying to figure out how to be good to each other and good to ourselves.
Right.
How do we make space in this world for ourselves to exist as us?
Right.
And how do we, at the same time, respect others?
Definitely.
You know what? This has been Matt and Ross. We're going to keep looking for these lines. I promise.
We have more lines. We have lines and lines and lines.
We have lines on top of lines on top of lines.
Which, by the way, if you ever hear at a party, please leave. Do not engage. Just leave. It's not.
Lines and lines?
It's not. It's not. No, it's not worth it. Just no.
Not even good pickup lines?
Okay, if it's pickup lines, then still leave. Yeah.
If you go to a party and they're playing our show, leave?
No. Stay at that party. Yeah, definitely.
What's the other show?
Oh, I was talking about the other context of lines and lines and lines.
Oh.
See, there you go.
These kids today. These kids today.
Hey, I'm just giving you guys forewarning. Don't.
What I want to say is,
that.
namaste. You know what? The deep wounds and scars on my soul sees the deep wounds and scars on your soul and recognizes that the struggle is universal. We are not alone. No, it's not easy. But if we were able to all communicate about that, it might be a little bit easier.